Something straight out of a cyberpunk universe is what the Ultraviolet is. It is the future of Indian motorcycling, and we have the Ultraviolet now in our very own Pondicherry. So we're going to go about the build quality of this motorcycle, how they build this motorcycle, the performance, the specs, the features, go about the battery capacity, we're going to go about the warranty you get on the battery and everything you need to know about this Ultraviolet F77.
We've seen all over the internet for the past few years about what this Ultraviolet can do on the road and the track. But before we get into that, I just want you to look at how much importance they've given to the build of this, because the EVs that we've seen coming out of India are not so much up to the mark when you look at the build quality, but this one, oh my god, the panels are so nicely put together. You know, some of the motorcycles that have been in the game for so long still have minor imperfections with the gaps between the panels, but this one is done so perfectly. You cannot see any mismatches or gaps that are out of place on this motorcycle. Even the paint job, they took special effort to do the paint job. This motorcycle comes in 9 different colors with exquisite paint jobs, and this yellow looks really good on this motorcycle. And yeah, it's fiberglass, so you got to be careful when you're taking this motorcycle for some heavy duty off-roading and stuff. I don't see where you can put a slider for this for protection, but yeah, it's got these pins, and I've been told that these pins are also functional, so we'll talk more about that, about the performance in detail. But firstly, the F77 stickering on the front, which looks really good. And the headlight, of course, it's straight out of the future. Like I said, a cyberpunk universe motorcycle is what the Ultraviolet is.
Clearly, the Ultraviolet's build quality is something that cannot be competed with, but so is the technicality of this bike. The tech, the performance as well cannot be competed by any other brand. We're talking about a 10.3 kilowatt to be precise of battery capacity, and for that battery you also get 8 lakh kilometer warranty, which is the most Asia's motorcycle companies have to offer. So that is a deal breaker. And so what this 10.3 kilowatt battery can do is it provides you a range of 323 kilometers. That varies depending on how you ride the motorcycle, and it has 3 of beautifully named riding modes, which is glide, combat and ballistic. And in ballistic you get 100 Newton meters of torque, which is something close to what a superbike has to offer. So when you ride at maybe ballistic, the range might drop, but to counter that they have given a beautiful feature which is called regen. So when you're on ballistic, obviously the battery will drop pretty quickly, but to combat that, the Ultraviolet has a beautiful feature which is called regen, which has 10 modes. When you decelerate, the motor acts as a dynamo which stops the battery life from draining, which is really beautiful. Of course, it does not recharge your battery, but you definitely have a longer battery life, which is really useful when you take this motorcycle for touring. So this is a motorcycle that you can definitely tour with, and there are a lot of stations, EV stations for charging, that's gonna come up in the future. Not just that, it has 40 PS of power, which is close to the 3 lakh budget. Now all these motorcycles like the KTM Duke 390, or even we have the Triumph Speed 400 or the GT 650 and the Twin 650s, they all have this range of horsepower, and for that price the motorcycle also offers the same amount of power, which is really good. Now 40 PS of power combined with 100 Newton meters of torque, the initial is going to be crazy, and that's what we are going to discover when we ride this motorcycle. And from the name you might wonder that the vintage biker is how does a vintage biker really get into EVs? Yes, I have my doubts about this bike. I'm not really still accustomed to the change of EVs taking over petrol motorcycles. I am a petrol head, but I've heard a lot of things about this motorcycle, and I think that is about to change once I ride this motorcycle.
So we are finally on the Ultraviolet, and I'm going to show you how to reverse this motorcycle. So if you hold on to the front brake and press on the circle button, you go back and it goes back, and if you press, that is really cool, you can go up to 5 kilometers per hour. And if you press on the front brake and press the X button, this is in parking mode right now, so you have the hazard lights on, and you can just say okay, it's now in combat mode. Let's switch it to glide, and when this green color indicator is on, that means the motor is on. So let's take this bad boy for a spin. The height is pretty good for me. I'm 5'4", and yeah, tiptoeing a bit, but it's fine. Let's check out what this motorcycle is capable of. Has that classic EV sound. It's very linear in the glide mode. There's no initial pickup. It's like a normal EV. Good brakes. Motorcycle is very docile at this point. It's very calm. Is the right word. Very calm and composed in the glide mode. Just really good for cruising around the city, having some fun. Cannot feel the 200 kgs on me, so that is really good. For riding this motorcycle every day on the streets. That is some good handling. It feels really natural. It's weird not having a clutch. I'm reaching for the clutch very often. That's very weird. Feels like I'm on Aladdin's carpet. There's no sound to this. It has that cyberpunk sound, that classic EV sound. It's all very new. It's all very different. Not in a bad way, but yeah, I would still like to have still like to have my petrol engine sound. Good handling, good stability, and good grips. I think it's time to switch this to a combat. Let's switch to combat. Okay, that's a better pull. That's a better pull than glide, but still not what I have heard about this motorcycle. Let's see. Let's try out the combat for a while until. Oh, that's good. That's some good stuff. Good pull. Throttle is pretty responsive. Very responsive throttle. It's a good feel. Very smooth. Not at all jerky at any point. Let's see how much this motorcycle can go in the combat mode. Oh, that feels fast. It's weird. It's still weird. I mean, yeah, a couple of minutes I've been riding this motorcycle. It's so weird that I don't have the clutch and the gear shifter to, rev match quickly when I'm going to a stop. Sweet. This is something that in the night you see on your rearview mirror. There's something coming towards you so fast, but you can't hear it, and then it just goes past you like a ghost, and you don't know what's coming towards you. That is what this missile is. Now, till now, it is satisfactory, but I've heard a lot of things about the next mode, which is the ballistic mode with 100 Newton meters of torque. Let's try that. I must say, it's very smooth, it's got good brakes, very crunchy, and the region is good. Let's increase the region. I think we could add a few more. So region, if you don't already know, it means that when you're downshifting the motorcycle and when you let go of the clutch, you just let the bike engine brake on itself. That's what the region is, but instead it acts as a dynamo which increases your battery life. So there are 9 modes of region. Now we're at 6, and yeah, it's slowing down the bike, which is really good. It also improves your battery life, which is excellent. I really love this feature on this motorcycle. It's just that you don't hear the engine, so that is a factor that really affects your perception of speed. It feels a lot fast, but then it just feels like you're sitting on a ride, or like I said, Aladdin's carpet. It's very weird, but in a good way. It takes time to get used to it. Very good handling. The suspensions also, I don't feel any. It's a perfect combo of performance and. Let me make this turn. Yeah, it's a perfect combo for performance or city rides, and if you want to take it for some light off-road trails, I think it's perfect. The seat is very, very comfy. You know, it's not the nicely padded seat. It's medium padded seat, which is the best for long rides. It's not so stiff, not very soft. It's the perfect amount. And the rider's triangle is really good because my foot pegs are a little bit lightly rear set, and the handlebars are upright but a little low. So I have that a little committed riding posture, which I absolutely love. It's comfy for long rides, and when you want to push, you just tuck in and just go at it. Oh, this is the sensor for when you change the motorcycle to dark mode, which is really cool. Okay, guys, time to go ballistic. Yes, we're at that point of the video. And to switch between the modes, you just simply press on the ignition button. And let's go ballistic. If you hold on to the front brake and hit... Oh shit, I'm doing something wrong. Do I long press? Yes, here we go. A 2-second press. Okay, so let's do a 0 to 100, yeah? Why am I not able to adjust these mirrors? Okay, these do not turn. The mirrors simply just turn, but still, I'm not very happy with this. I can only see the sky. I cannot see anything else. I don't know why this. I don't want to break anything. So let's go. Yeah. Okay, let me get into a position where I can launch this motorcycle properly. I can't see the motorcycles coming, so that's a bit of an issue. I need to be careful. Let's go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's some good pull, guys. That's some good pull. It's fast as fuck. Oh. Oh, let's go. It has that 390, the initial is pretty quick, and then the thing that pulls it towards the top end, it has that similar character to a 390 or any modern sports bike in the segment. Let's hit the 155 mark. Oh, very planted, very stable. Suspensions are acting really well, not too bumpy, smooth. I'm hitting some rough bumps and still keeping it stable, which is really good. And the handling, the grips, oh, that pull, that's nice. The throttle response is excellent. Let's sit back, tuck in, and push this motorcycle now. Here we go. That's some good stuff. You will never be not impressed with this performance. It pulls amazing. I never thought an EV could do this. This is really surprising. The stability and the pull is really impressive. The motorcycle weighs the right amount. Look at that. Oh my god. Oh. That grip and the stability when you're in the corner, it's just excellent. And the pull is excellent. I think I wasn't able to go 155, but I'm pretty happy. I just wanted to know how this motorcycle feels. The initial is the most important part, so yeah, pretty impressed with this motorcycle. Okay, so firstly, I think pretty much everything I've talked about is what I liked about this bike. What I didn't like, I would say, is not really the bike's fault. It's just, it's the EV part. There's no sound. So that the perception of speed is a bit different, and that will take some time to get used to it. And yeah, of course, there's no clutch lever or gear shift, so that is also really weird. Other than that, the handling, the suspensions, the brakes, the performance, the pull, the visibility of the instrument cluster, the switch panels are so user friendly, the handlebars are positioned perfectly, the foot pegs, the riding position, the seating comfort, everything is really good. I think the pillion wouldn't be that comfortable, but it's a futuristic bike, so this is something you have to give up on. on this motorcycle. And definitely the mirrors I have to talk about. I maybe this is adjustable, but I couldn't figure out how to adjust it. It should be a bit more user friendly. It's very good looking, goes well with the vibe of the motorcycle, but otherwise the UI of the instrument cluster, the user friendliness of that is really good. There's no issues with that. Until next time, I enjoyed myself thoroughly on this motorcycle.
Now another thing with this motorcycle is about the charging when you're taking this motorcycle for long trips. So this is where you charge, like all motorcycles which have a petrol tank cap. Here you have the charging port right here, and even if you don't have an EV station wherever you're traveling, if you're staying at a hotel in some hill station, you get a standard charger with the motorcycle to charge this motorcycle, which will take you about 7 hours. So when you're done with the trip for the day and you go to your hotel room, you can charge the motorcycle in the night. But if you want a faster charging, don't want any hassle, don't want to waste any time, you also have a 3 kilowatt boost charger we can use to charge this motorcycle within 3 hours. And the chargers are good, but the EV stations are much more better, because it's said that Ultraviolet claims that you can charge your motorcycle up to full power just within 15 minutes, which is going to be a game changer for this motorcycle when you're on long rides. The rear looks as beautiful as the front, doesn't it? A beautiful set of tail lights that look really futuristic. Now a little bit more about the specs of this motorcycle. I'm going to start with the disc brakes on this motorcycle, which have dual channel ABS and also got traction control, which is good, which is standard in all motorcycles in this range. And we also got the tires, which are 150 section in the rear and 110 section in the front, with absolutely terrific grip, which also to add hill hold control. When you're in an upward slope, you don't have to hold or go for the brake. The motorcycle will be stationary, which is really helpful.
So let's look at the beautiful instrument cluster on this Ultraviolet. So we boot it up and we have the colorful animation from all the icons. F77 Super Street, Go Ballistic, and a beautiful boot up. And we have a futuristic looking instrument cluster. Now the motorcycle is already in glide. Now if you press the ignition once, it switches between the modes, combat, and you have ballistic, which is the one that produces the 100 Newton meters of torque, the fastest one. Now we got our range, the kilometer, the odo, this ride, and we have the region settings. So we can go up to 9 modes on the region. So if we go into the menu, we have the F77, which will give us the details of the motorcycle and the UI version and all of those details. We got navigate for the Google Maps, which you have to connect your your cell phone for that. My trips is the trip information, the odo, the trip 1, trip 2, trip 3. Now the settings, you can change the display of the motorcycle. Let's go into parallax. I like the parallax one better. It gives a much more futuristic feel, so that is really great. And we have other settings such as the sound and deep sleep. Deep sleep is a beautiful feature. If you let this motorcycle and go out of town for like 20 days, say about a month, you don't have to bring it to the service center to start it up again. You can just put it in the deep sleep mode and go out of town, come back and start the motorcycle again without a hassle. Time settings, now we get out, we have the controls. In controls, we have the adjustment for the performance, the ABS, the region, and the traction control, 4 modes of traction control, and the hill hold, which is really great. Now let's go into the documents. The documents, we can store our driving license and such documents like the insurance, registration, and all of that. Bluetooth, we need again cell phone to connect, and the battery life, the battery percentage, and the battery temperature, and the CL number of the battery. All these informations are given here. So pretty much a really good display, although these bezels could have been a bit more smaller in my opinion. It reduces the futuristic feel, it gives it a more traditional instrument cluster vibe. If these bezels would have been a lot thinner, it would have made this motorcycle much more futuristic. But overall, it's a really good display. It has good visibility. Its brightness can be adjusted according to your need, and it has all the information on the instrument cluster. Now the F77 Super Street comes in two variants, which is the standard and another one which is called the Recon. In the standard, you get a 7 kilowatt battery which produces 90 newton meters of peak torque, and in the Recon you get a 10.3 kilowatt battery which produces 100 newton meters of peak torque. Now these are the only two different variants available in this. The standard one would cost you around 3 lakhs ex showroom, and the Recon would cost you 4 lakhs approximately ex showroom. There's 1 lakh difference. The battery and the power figure is the only significant change between these two motorcycles, so it's your call on whether you want to go for the 3 lakh variant or the 4 lakh variant. Ultraviolet is fairly a new and upcoming brand, but they've already established their foot in the Indian motorcycling market. Performance as such for the EV is so impressive, and it's definitely value for money because it is an EV. You save a lot on petrol, and it gives you the same amount of power a petrol bike would give you in this segment. So it's a win-win in all aspects, in the build quality, the performance, the savings. So that's pretty much everything you need to know about the Ultraviolet F77 Super Street. I hope you got some clarity about this motorcycle, and if you're gonna buy this motorcycle by the end of this video, I will see you in another video. Until then, keep watching the Vintage Biker.